This is the Marvel Legends series X-Men Marvel's Magik. The figure is a Walgreens exclusive, but here in Manila we don't have Walgreens, so I picked up this figure at Our Toys, and pretty cool. Nice packaging, and it is the regular release of the Magik figure that we got from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Book of the Vishanti box set, and I reckon that set the value of that set has completely gone down because of the release of this single packed Magik. And here is Magik out of packaging, and this figure looks fantastic, and I'm so glad that I had already gotten rid of my Book of the Vishanti set years ago when it still had some value in it, because let's face it, that set, I mean, everybody wanted that set because of maybe Hela, Dormammu, and basically because of the Magik figure, because she was the only X-Men figure in that set. And you know, the loose Magik figure is going for bonkers now on the secondary market, and quite frankly, this figure is a significant improvement of that Book of the Vishanti figure, and not just because she has accessories, but mostly because of the paint apps and the choice of colors they've put on her, and the accessories as well. So take a closer look at this figure. It looks fantastic. Look at that. So one thing you will notice is she's got some extra bits. Like she's got Lockheed the Dragon done in red. If you had Shadowcat, you'll remember this particular figure as Lockheed the Dragon, and they've repainted it or recast it in translucent red plastic with some gold highlights. And I guess it's one of the dragons in Limbo that Magik has. She also has an extra hand. So instead of just having two gripping hands, she has now this sort of Magik casting hand. Because if you remember in the comic books, she was able to time travel to an earlier period and meet Doctor Strange and train Magik with Doctor Strange. That's pretty amazing. Now she can do magic. And they've given her some of Thor's lightning bolts. If you already had the Ragnarok Thor, you'll remember this particular accessory, the seaweed lightning bolt accessory. It's okay. I'm not complaining. It's an extra piece, and I guess because this was a small figure and this was a store exclusive, they had some room, extra budget for accessories for the $20 price point. So okay, I'll give you that. Also, it came with, well, she really had her sword. We'll talk about that later, but this time the sword has been cast in clear blue plastic, and it has that Psylocke sword effect on it. And finally, she has this red skull. No, I'm kidding. It's a flaming skull. Just look at the paint. For starters, the only thing I see better in this original figure is that it has that glossy sort of latex look to her suit, like her boots, her top, her bikini, her armbands. They are made in that glossier type of finish, whereas the ones we have now, the Walgreens exclusive, is a little glossy, but not as much. It looks more matte than glossy. Okay. Second, you can see here she's got latex boots. Well, here she's got those leather boots, and you've already seen these boots before, and I'm just glad they used this, because I think this is a more accurate representation of when she joined Cyclops' X-Men team. The Revolution X-Men team, and I thought that was great. The belt, shinier buckle, I think, and she still has that X. As for the arm, I'm not quite sure if they did anything. If at all, this is probably more worn out or less shiny. This one is like factory fresh armor or something like that. But look at the, let me see, look at the face paint. This is like when she's probably in limbo, when she's doing her thing. This is like her relaxed mode, and I personally like this one more, simply because there's better features. I love how they painted her eyes, and yeah, the lipstick. This is a nice alternate head sculpt. So if you still have your Book of the Vishanti, it'd be great. You can swap things in and out. But I am more partial to this one. I do like this one better. See if I can get... Also, the hair seems to be painted differently. This one is a brighter, sort of yellowish blonde type of color. This one has a little bit more pink to it, a little bit more of a wash to it. I think this is more realistic. This is more cartoony. So yeah, definitely a significant improvement. Before we leave the figure, she also comes with these, it looks like Scarlet Witch's effects, but they're not. Well, yeah, they are actually, but they're done in this blue clear plastic instead of the pink ones. And I put them on the legs because I felt they look much better on the legs than on the arms. But simply when it's like when she's in limbo, there's a little bit of smoke and magic effect going on. And sometimes the artist would draw on the feet, and I thought this would look great. So the articulation for the figure is going to be the same as that previously released figure. This new hand just goes up and down. Everything else seems to be the same. I didn't have any frozen joints with this figure. All articulation, all joints seem to be in good working order. As you can see, the sword now is done in yellow instead of that white glow, bluish white glow to it. I thought this one was better. I thought the sword glowed hot white when it was in full strength, but we get the artists usually draw magic with a yellow bladed sword, like when it's, you know, energizing up or something like that. So either way will do, but I think I'm going to be a little bit more partial with that white sword. So, but this one's not bad. I mean, it's been painted nicely, yellow, clear plastic. Okay, on to the other sword. The other sword was cast in like silver or gray and then painted black. This one is done in a translucent blue, clear blue plastic and painted all silver. It really depends on you which one you prefer, but because this one has the effect, that energy effect, I think this one is a much better rendition of that sword, since most of her weapons will really glow because of the magic use and all that. This one just kind of looks like a normal samurai or katana, so I'm partial with this one. Okay, now on to that last bit of accessory, which is the red skull or the flaming skull. And this is the Build-A-Figure Dormammu skull, and as you can see, it's quite different. There's a different type of flame, and it's green, and it doesn't move. This particular skull moves. The jaw opens and closes. And this is the Book of Vishanti skull, which is exactly the same as this one. As you can see, the jaw is fixed and it has different type of flame, which led me to believe, because of that moving jaw and that different flame, that this is the Ghost Rider head sculpt. Now, which Ghost Rider is that? This is from my old review. I sold my Ghost Rider years ago, a couple of years ago, and it kind of feels that it is the Ghost Rider head sculpt. I don't have this figure anymore, obviously, but this one moved, the jaw moved, and it kind of looks like that. And even the sort of hair-like appearance of that flame. Now, this is the one with the Riders, Marvel Legends Riders, the one with the latest one they released this year, 2018, the motorcycle Marvel Legends Ghost Rider. And I don't think it's the same one. The flames look to be the same, but the skull appeared to be different because there's more detail here. There's more teeth. There's that extra, like a mole or an extra jutting piece right there on the jaw. This jaw is a lot smoother. The eyes are much smaller. The cheekbones are smaller than this one. So I don't think it's this one. I think it's this one that they've repurposed, which makes sense because, you know, it's clear plastic already. They didn't need to redo anything like that. So all in all, I thought this was a great piece. And you know, because of that open hand, now you can have her posed with the skull or holding the skull or something like that. So that's pretty cool. So final thoughts on the figure. Need I say more? The figure is going to get a 10 out of 10. I think it's a big improvement from the Book of the Vishanti. I think you get more bang for your buck with this particular figure. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg for it. This is the figure, the Magic X-Men Magic figure you want to get. I absolutely recommend it to all X-Men collectors. If you're here in Manila, well, we don't have Walgreens. You can get this at hobby shops, and I highly recommend it. I mean, one of the best X-Men figures we've seen so far, and I really like it. I really like it. I'm glad Hasbro has been improving on their figures, re-releasing figures that are more affordable than exclusives. Despite being a store exclusive, I thought the prices that hobby shops were selling these were still right there. I mean, in terms of Philippine retail prices, this figure will set you back $35, $37. Don't pay more than $40 for it. I think, you know, $40 should be enough. Should be your ceiling for this one. It's a great figure. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Marvel Legends series, X-Men Marvel's Magic. Thanks for watching.